Okay, so this might be the weirdest picking technique I've ever seen. I don't even know how to start with this one. Okay, this looks like I will break my thumb even trying to play like this. My friends, today I took a deep dive and discovered the craziest picking techniques ever. I will give all of them a try in this video myself to see if I can actually pull them off and if there are some benefits in playing in a very weird kind of way.
I would typically do this type of thing. I would take
Nice.
I might take like, say if we're in the key of B minor.
Awesome. So yeah, we have to start with a classic, Mr. Marty Friedman, amazing guitar player, but of course very well known for his signature picking technique. This one is interesting because of multiple reasons. Let's start with the obvious one. So the placement of the hand and wrist. As you can see right here, the wrist is kind of popping out like this. And what's really interesting is where he's actually picking, because most guitar players, myself included, pick right here, so closer to the bridge pickup, because in my case the palm is resting on the bridge like this. I get the most amount of control out of my picking that way. As you can see, he's picking above the neck pickup right here, and he's definitely not resting his palm on the bridge. It's floating in the air like this, and it looks like the motion works a little bit like this. So that's my attempt at imitating this technique. What's interesting right away is the kind of tone I get out of my picking strokes, because the pick is hitting the strings in a completely different way compared to how I play. With my technique, I'm hitting the strings at an angle like this. While with this technique, the pick is kind of turning around almost. And I'm hitting the strings at a more parallel angle. Yes, when you look at it right here, you can see that the pick is kind of parallel to the strings, which is interesting. I'd say that contributes quite a bit to Marty's expressive playing style. He gets a lot of picking attack while doing that. So the thing that's very hard for me when I try to imitate that kind of lick or playing is managing the string noise, because this is a pretty big movement when it comes to the picking, which means that I sometimes touch strings I don't really want to touch. Of course, Marty has perfected that over many years of playing like this. What I would personally miss a little bit is muting the strings with my palm. I don't want to rely on palm muting to get rid of string noise, of course, but I really like switching between open and muted notes in my improvised lines, for example.
Three fingers. I've always used three fingers.
Oh yeah, so this is also gonna be interesting. Pretty much the most iconic rhythm player in metal. Mr. James Hetfield says he's using 3 fingers for his picking technique, not 2 fingers like most players.
I know Kirk is just 2, and probably most guitar players are just 2. I use 3, so I got a really good grip on it, you know, and I've tried just doing 2. It just does not.
Okay, so right here you can actually see him holding the pick with his thumb, of course, index finger and middle finger. Let's see how that works for his signature downstrokes. Interesting. So I can feel some extra support holding the pick like that. I never tried this before. But the angle is interesting because, once again, I can't use my preferred picking angle like this, because I would kind of have to rotate my whole wrist. So the default angle that I get by holding the pick with 3 fingers like that is once again kind of parallel to the strings, or even a bit of a reverse angle like that, and not like this, how I would actually want it to be. I could actually get that angle, but it doesn't look that healthy. It looks like my index finger will snap. Very interesting. Let's see if we get a better shot or a better look at this.
Because to me, the pick will start to, rotate around.
Oh, okay.
This keeps it, I'm kind of on both edges, so it.
That's interesting. That's also a frustration I hear a lot on Patreon for my awesome students over there, that the pick is moving around in their hands. Most of the time that happens when you're digging in way too much, so when you're using the entire pick basically to pick. When you're just working with the tip of the pick, You don't really have that problem this much. And of course, what also helps is having picks with a bit of a grip surface that are not too slippery.
Keeps it from rotating around, you know.
Oh, we get a bit of a better look right here, and it looks like he's actually working with the picking angle that I really like. I wonder how he manages to do that. So it looks like he's not holding the pick with the tip of his index finger. All right, so I had to look up an image right here. So it looks like the pick is resting somewhere right here on the finger, and the thumb is actually bending this way. That's interesting. Then the middle finger seems to go here, and the other fingers aren't doing anything. I don't know if my index finger is unusually long or something, but I can't get it to look like this. I think this is as close as I can get it to look, and I do feel like it's more possible right now to use my usual picking angle. That doesn't sound like James when I'm playing like this, but I do get the feeling that there's a lot of punch and control when you hold the pick with 3 fingers. So for his signature machine gun down picking, gallops and all of that, it definitely works. On my end, I still just feel a little bit more comfortable playing like this. Works both for the rhythm stuff, like the downstrokes and gallops, but also for fun stuff like sweep picking, for example. A technique that Mr. Hetfield doesn't really need in his arsenal that much, since he's all about the rhythm stuff. But real quick, if your picking still feels inconsistent, if your right hand tenses up, if you miss strings when you speed up, then you're not essentially practicing wrong, you're practicing without a system. To help you as much as I can, I just released the precision picking method on Patreon. It's a step-by-step practice package built specifically to fix your picking hand mechanics. You will get the full PDF workbook, backing tracks with and without my guitar, tabs and guitar profiles, and the exact exclusive picking hand drills that I use every single day. This isn't just a few licks, it's a complete method to build control, speed, and accuracy. So if you're serious about finally mastering your picking, hit the link below, join us on Patreon, and download the brand new precision picking method today. Start training like a pro. Picking hand mastery starts today.
You can play like sextuplets, but you can put them in groups of 4 instead.
Very interesting. This, of course, is Steve Morse. And that's a very unique picking technique right here. It looks a bit like this to me. Reminds me of doing this as a kid, pretending that my hand was talking. But, of course, placing the pick in there. Very interesting. My pinky feels especially crazy. It's pointing away like this. Okay, so it looks like his pinky is not part of that kind of constellation of the other fingers. But I feel like when I did this, I was also not just holding the pick with my index finger. He might be holding the pick with the middle finger as well, I'm not sure. Nice, but what you can hear is that the picking is very, very percussive. So you can hear a lot of the strings in the room, not just the amp, but actually from the guitar as well. So once again, a very kind of percussive technique, which definitely sounds cool for his playing style. For me, it would be a bit hard to not get stuck in between the strings when I'm playing like that. But since he's quite famous for playing different arpeggios without any kind of sweep picking, I think he definitely mastered this kind of technique for himself. Yes! We definitely have to take a look at Tosin as well. I actually ran into him at Guitar Summit a couple of months ago. He held a clinic right after my clinic at the event. And what's interesting about this picking technique is that the thumb is bending away like this. I'm not sure if I can do the same kind of bend with my thumb. So I think this is as much flexibility as I can get out of my thumb, which means of course that the picking angle when he's alternate picking is reversed, I think. So not like this, actually reversed in the other direction like that. It Something like this, I think. Doesn't look exactly like his technique, but a little bit similar. In fact, there are not a lot of picked notes in here. A lot of the notes are generated by just hammering on the neck like this with the fretting hand fingers. Really cool technique called selective picking. I'm 100% sure he pioneered it if he didn't invent it. I just wanted to give this kind of picking technique a try because it just unlocked a core memory for me, to be honest. I think we have to check out one more player in this video.
Hi, Bernd here.
Look at that guy. This was 7 years ago and I had already unlocked quite a bit of speed with my picking technique. I think this goes up to 300 beats per minute. Yes, could be a little bit cleaner, but it's quite fast. And the reason why this popped into my mind is because the picking technique back then was kind of similar. I was also picking with a reverse angle like this. You can see that I wasn't bending my thumb as much as Tosin, but it is actually kind of similar. But aside from the unconventional direction of the pick, you can see a lot of arm movement, especially as things get faster. So my wrist was extremely stiff, which was very limiting because I didn't really feel the correct amount of notes I was trying to play per string. I was just kind of pushing as fast as possible, and that's why it doesn't sound completely clean. Through practicing quite a lot over the last couple of years, I managed to actually unlock my wrist for fast tempos like this. So while I still push a little bit with my arm at these tempos, my wrist is very loose. And as you can hear, there's no string noise and every stroke perfectly aligns with my fretting hand fingers, even at that kind of tempo. And there are some key exercises that got my playing from this to where it is right now. If you would like to work on those exact exercises starting today, all you have to do is click the link down below and download the new precision picking method. It's the brand new practice package on Patreon. It features all of my exclusive picking hand technique drills that took my playing and technique to this level. So don't waste another moment, click the link down below right now. This is your calling. Let's finally transform your picking technique and take it to a world-class level right now. I'm waiting for you on Patreon. Click below. See you over there.